Hello, parents. Raising a teen today is not the same as it was when we were growing up, right? The world has actually changed so much, and so have the challenges of our children. And that's why I wrote this book, Teenology, just to give you a simple, practical way to understand and guide your teens without the complicated theories. Hey, I'm Sridhar Palia, an adolescent psychologist, a teen coach, and the founder of Brain Behavior Academy. Professionally, though, I'm an entrepreneur, run a successful behavioral health technology company as a co founder for Eco Wellness. For years, I've worked closely with teenagers and the parents, trying to help them navigate the challenges of adolescence. My passion for understanding human behavior started very early. And over time, I've combined my corporate experience, my psychological background, and the personal insights to create the practical solutions for the parents and for the teens. But beyond my professional journey, I've been there myself. As a teenager struggling to make the sense of the world, as a mentor watching young minds blossom, and as someone who overcame personal challenges like the ADHD and high sensitivity. And through these experiences, I've realized how a little awareness and the right approaches can completely change the trajectory of teens' lives. And that's the purpose of Teenology. I wanted to create a simple yet powerful guide to make parenting very easy, more effective, and also aligned with today's fast changing world. See, unlike traditional parenting advice, teenology is rooted in science, but designed to be practical and easy to apply so that you don't need psychology degree to understand your teen. So why parenting? I often get this question, do we really need parenting? Say, how did we grow up when our parents have never bothered to learn parenting? Now, parenting has always been important, but today it's absolutely critical. Let's take a step back and look at the world that we are raising our teens in, right? And here are my 8 reasons for why I think that we really need to hone the parenting skills, especially in the current world and the future of careers and life. So, reason number one is that world has really changed, and that too drastically. Think about it. Last 2 to 3 decades, the internet was a luxury, not a necessity. And if you go further back, it was non existent. Careers were actually very predictable, but now technology and innovations are reshaping the industries faster than ever. The jobs our kids will have might not even exist today. Then, how do we prepare them? Not with the outdated parenting methods, but with a fresh, adaptable approach, right? Reason number two is that population boom is like never before. Just guess, it took about 1,000 years, thousands of years, for our humanity to reach our first billion people on this planet. That was in year 1804 when we reached the first billion. But the last billion, we were 7 billion in 2012. In just 12 years, we hit 8 billion in 2024. So, this explosion means more competition, be it in education, jobs, or resources, right? Our teens need resilience and adaptability to thrive in the world that's really getting competitive every day. My reason number three is that internet and social media have reshaped our teenager mind. Our kids are exposed to unlimited information at an age when their brains are really not fully developed and still in the process of developing. They're absorbing ideas, both good and bad, but faster than ever. Their worldviews, self esteem, and even mental health are being shaped by these algorithms. So, as parents, we need to be their guides, helping them navigate this digital chaos, storm, and wisdom. My reason number four is that mental health issues are on the rise. The anxiety, depression, and even suicides among teenagers have reached an alarming levels. The pressure to succeed, the constant comparison on the social media, and these lack of emotional coping skills, no, these are creating a silent crisis if you ask me. We can't afford to ignore this anymore. Emotional intelligence and self-regulation need to be as important as academics. Reason number five is that the careers are evolving rapidly due to these AI and automation. The career paths we know are being rewritten. AI is actually replacing all traditional jobs and new industries are emerging. And what does this mean for our kids? It means that they need to be critical thinkers, problem solvers, and emotionally strong individuals. These qualities are those that are not really taught in the schools but must be nurtured at home. Reason number six is that schools are teaching with an outdated model. Well, I don't blame the schools, but the boards such as CBSE are the real culprits because most schools still follow the education model designed for the industrial era. They prepare kids for the structured job, not the uncertain future that we are actually heading to, right? If our teens are learning last century education to thrive in the 21st century, who will fill this gap? That's where we as parents come in. Reason number seven is that parenting has become so much more challenging. Work life balance is harder than ever. Even the parents' jobs are getting more complicated, more tougher. Families are getting smaller, extended family support is almost diminishing. Therefore, parents are really stretched thin. And in this chaos, teenage behavior are at risk of being misdirected. So unless until we take a intentional approach, we are putting them to risk. Reason number eight is that teenage years are the last window or a critical phase for brain development. Now, neuroscience tells us that the adolescent's brain is still forming, and this is the last big opportunity to shape their self regulation, resilience, and particularly the character and behavior, even before they enter into the adulthood. Unfortunately, most schools aren't prioritizing this, which means it's up to us parents to fill this gap. So, why did I write this book? See, there are a lot of parenting books out there, but what I notice is that most of them are either give the generic advice or overload you with the scientific jargon that makes parenting really, really like a homework. And most importantly, most of them were from the Western countries and they don't fit our culture. So I made a different choice with teenology. One is that they are rooted in the behavioral science. But don't worry, I have stripped away all the complicated research paper and focused on real practical strategies that work. Second is that it's a step-by-step guidance, no fluff, just clear, simple techniques you can apply in your daily life. I also give a real life example, stories from teens and parents I have worked with. So you know you're not alone. And then it's more of future ready approach. So it's not just about surviving the teen years, it's about equipping our teens with the skills that they need to thrive in an unpredictable world. Now, this book isn't just about parenting. It's about making sure your teen is emotionally strong, adaptable, and ready for whatever the future brings in. And the best part, you don't have to be a psychologist to understand. I made it simple and practical as possible. So you can start using the strategies right away. How do we actually raise a future ready teen? It all comes down to these three simple, powerful pillars. One is self regulation. Now, teaching teens how to manage their emotions, distractions, and impulses so that they can take control of their own behavior, which will be the fundamental thing. Second is that growth mindset, helping them see failures as learning experience instead of writing roadblocks and have that growth mindset. Third is that connection, the strengthening the bond between you as parents and your teens so that they feel safe and thrive in learning and development. So these are the three important pillars that is nurtured over in this book of teenology. Why this book matters to me? See, growing up, I had a fair share of struggles, like any teenager. But what set me apart was my natural tendency to observe patterns in human behavior. I wasn't just experiencing adolescence, I was analyzing it. And this curiosity stayed with me throughout my career. Whether it was being part of the core campus recruitment teams interviewing hundreds of engineer graduates, or whether it is mentoring fresh graduates coming to my projects, or watching young professionals graduate and grow. So, my deep interest in human psychology only strengthened over time. Besides, as a highly sensitive person, HSP, and an ADHD survivor myself, I had my own journey of self discovery. Looking back, I now see how much of my struggle could have been eased with the right awareness. So, what truly pains me is that the millions of teenagers today are still struggling unnecessarily, not because they lack potential, but because their parents are not equipped with the fundamental knowledge to guide them. Look, while some challenges require clinical interventions, Many struggles are simply lifestyle, social, or cultural issues that can be completely prevented or managed with the right approaches. As a teen psychologist, I constantly receive these questions from parents about specific parenting challenges. You know what's the problem? There's only so much that I can explain in this short conversations. Parenting is a big picture, and this piecemeal advice often does more harm than good. That's why I wrote Teenology, to give parents a complete, structured, and science backed guide that they can explore on their own pace. Besides that, books allows for a deep engagement. Parents can revisit the concepts, they can reflect and kind of implement strategies in their own way, in their own pace. And that's why Teenology is my way of ensuring that the parents don't just hear piece of advice, they truly understand how to raise a future ready teen. Okay, why the title Teenology, a common science approach to parenting a future ready teen? See, I chose the title Teenology because it perfectly captures the essence of this book. The word combines teens, representing the unique phase of their adolescence, and ology, which signifies the science behind the understanding and guiding them. The phrase a common science approach actually reflects my belief that the parenting should be as simple as common sense, yet firmly grounded in science. Too often, scientific knowledge feels distant or complex for most parents, but this book breaks it down into easy to apply strategies so that you can use the best of both wisdom and the research without getting really overwhelmed. Lastly, Teenology emphasized the ultimate goal to equip teens with the skills, mindset, and resilience to thrive in the unpredictable future. In the world that's rapidly evolving, traditional parenting approaches won't be enough. We need to prepare our teens for careers, challenges, and opportunities that we can't even foresee today. And this book is about giving them that edge while strengthening the parent teen connection all along the way. So, if you're ready to parent with confidence, to truly connect with your teen, and to prepare them for the future that's fast changing, Teenology is for you. I highly recommend grab your copy today and let's shape a future ready teens.